We have our wonderful co-host from Mighty Cause, Ellen, with us today. She's going to continue to allow people to get in, and we're going to get started because we have a lot to cover today, and I'm really excited about this webinar. So thank you all for spending some time with us to chat about the advanced features. This is going to be a webinar focused on benefits and cost savings, but I always like to think of it as a mantra. Start with this slide, just to remind us all why we're here and why digital fundraising is so important to incorporate. So, of course, digital fundraising is going to streamline everything that you're doing and enhance everything that you're doing. So it's saving you time and money. You are getting access to better data, reporting, and tracking when you're using digital fundraising tools. You are improving donor relationships for a multitude of reasons, but you have better access to make more impressions on your donors in the digital space. Digital fundraising also expands your reach, as you can imagine. You just have time and you're more efficient to be able to reach more folks. And it creates transparency and trust for your donors. If I don't see you on Facebook or you don't have an updated website, what does that make me feel about your organization? And so having effective presentation as well as digital fundraising campaigns online is going to really boost trust in donor relationships. Online fundraising gives donors more access. So you as the nonprofit are meeting donors where they spend time, which is on their mobile devices and on their computers. And of course, it increases the overall rate of donations. So more donations, more revenue, more fundraising to be able to increase your relationships and supporter base. I also like to upfront just answer the question for us all. Why leverage ColoradoGives? We acknowledge there are so many different fundraising tools out there at all different levels and prices and complexities. Why should we be using ColoradoGives? Well, it's a free platform for you to use year-round, and it's trusted. We have been around since 2007, and this platform is built by and for Coloradans. Not to mention, which we will talk more about, we have an industry low fee model that's built to ensure that you are getting the most back out of the donations that are being contributed through our platform. It's also, as I mentioned, a robust year-round fundraising platform. So you can use it for everything that you do, or you could hop in and out of it for different special events, campaigns, galas, or to use some of the tools effectively year-round. Let's take a moment to talk about how much money you are saving if you are leveraging ColoradoGives. So we have set up a specific transaction fee model that benefits you and creates industry low fees for nonprofits that are leveraging the platform. You can see in this screenshot, the fee that we present to donors is 3.99%. By default, the platform is set up to encourage those donors to cover the fees automatically. Last year, we saw 93% of donors covering fees during ColoradoGives Day. And on average, we see 82% of donors covering those fees. And that means that you're getting 100% of the donation back. Here's the catcher. That 3.99% is made up of two elements. It's made up of 2.05%, which is the payment processing fees. Those are the unavoidable fees that you would incur on PayPal, with any credit card processor, Venmo, Google Pay, Apple Pay, any of those. That is the only fee you are incurring across any of our built-in payment methods on the platform, 2.05% for any donations where the fee is not covered by donors. So it's a great model. And if we go to the next slide, I'll talk a little bit more about how you can see your own effective fee rate if you're leveraging ColoradoGives. So this might not be known it's a little bit hidden. So I wanted to spend a few moments talking about how you can access and review your effective fee rate. So how much you as a nonprofit are actually paying to leverage Colorado Gives. So the platform is free to use. We went over the transaction fee model where you are only ever incurring 2.05%, and that's only when donors don't cover the fees. What that creates is an incredibly low effective fee rate on the platform. So I encourage everybody after this webinar or during it, go ahead and log into your organization page on Colorado Gives. You're going to go ahead and navigate to the overview section. From there, you can toggle and see a bunch of great stats really quickly. That lower screenshot that I have there shows the effective fee rate for a particular nonprofit, 0.13%. I've seen it as low as 0 for many of the nonprofits because all of the donors are covering the fees. And so after this webinar, I encourage everybody to go and check your effective fee rate to see just how much money you're saving by leveraging and pushing donations through Colorado Gives versus some of the other technology options out there. All right, so let's talk about the advanced features options. So with the advanced features, this is above and beyond the free platform, things that you can leverage, tools that you can leverage to expand your digital fundraising. I wanted to first discuss what's available to you as you're exploring if these advanced features work. If you are logging in as an admin of your organization page, you can go to Settings, Plan Management, and you can quickly sign up for a demo of the advanced features with our wonderful team at Mighty Cause. You can sign up for a 7-day free trial to explore it on your own. And you can also subscribe or unsubscribe really easily, either to the embeddable form option, which is $19 a month, or the advanced features plan, which is what we're going to be focusing on today, which is $69 a month. So if you're wanting to learn more, you're going to Settings, Plan Management. You are getting a lot within the advanced features tool set. You have access to, of course, the embeddable donation form, which we know drives a ton of revenue for nonprofits that are leveraging it. Digital marketing and email messaging, a built-in CRM, text to give tools, advanced analytics, advanced donor data collection options, different tools related to volunteers, custom branding options, so you can enhance the branding that's already available on the Colorado Gives platform to you. Integrations, which we'll talk about today, as well as priority support from Mighty Cause, who is our full-time customer support team. So lots of benefits here, and lots of access to different tools to serve your nonprofit and tools that you can explore at a price that's affordable. All right, so if I've convinced you and I need to say nothing more, I just wanted to ask if anybody is really interested in learning more and wants to set up a demo. The way that we're doing it for these demos is we're just asking folks to drop your email in the chat. We'd love to set up a demo with you so you can explore if the features are right for you. All right. Now with that, I'm going to hand it over to Ellen with Mighty Cause for her to introduce herself. Just want to say again, thank you, Ellen, and thanks everybody for joining us today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ellen, and I'm with Mighty Cause. Mighty Cause, we are a fully functioning organization fundraising suite that organizations can use year-round to raise money for all of your causes. We've been around since 2006, and we're kind of one of the first organizations to host these giving events. So we're very familiar with all of you as well as all of your organizations. But today I will be focusing on the advanced tools and emphasizing the ease of use as well as some of that time saving, cost saving associations with it all being connected to your current donation processes and donor engagement tools overall. So first, I really want to focus on a CRM. So what are some of the benefits of the CRM, as well as what even is a CRM? So a CRM is a system for managing your nonprofit's interactions with current and potential supporters. So these supporters could be donors, volunteers, event attendees, board members, just however you already kind of categorize your supporters, or maybe this is your first time really thinking through segmenting your donors. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well, of just great ways to segment your donors and really to emphasize your communications with all of them. So we also have really what the goal of a CRM is. So the goal is to help streamline those processes and really improve your donor relationships and to grow your overall supporter base. So studies have found that organizations with that strong donor engagement practices really experience an average gift size increase that ranges from about 10 to 30%. So these increases are really often results from cultivating deeper relationships with donors, providing those personalizations, providing more meaningful experiences, and just really thinking more strategically about asking your donors for donations and overall donor cultivation. So some great benefits of the CRM are so centralized donor database overall. So with Mighty Cause, which I'll do a demo of showing you where everything is, this could be your centralized data. So a CRM allows you to store all of your donor information in one place. This will include contact details, donation history, communication preferences, and then other interactions with your organizations. This centralized database makes it easy to access and update your donor information, ensuring that you have really a complete and accurate view of each of those donors. It also allows for personalization. So this can have detailed profiles in your CRM. You can personalize your communication and stewardship efforts by understanding these donors' preferences as well as interests or giving history. You can really tailor your messages and interactions to resonate with them on a more personal level. And this really increases their engagement as well as their loyalty. Donor retention. So a CRM allows you to segment your donors based on various criteria such as donation amount, frequency of giving, interests. These segmentation also able you to target those stewardship efforts more effectively. So you can send relevant information and messages to those donors in each of those segments. Actually on ColoradoGives, returning donors are 3 times more likely to donate. So you really do want to keep those retained donors. We all know that, yeah, retained donors are less expensive than new donors. So just different efforts to make sure that your donors felt that their impact has been made. Definitely more efficient. So a CRM facilitates collaboration and coordination among team members. So on Mighty Cause, you know, you can have unlimited admins. So you can have multiple people who are able to reach out to these donors. All of that information is stored in there, so you know it is accurate, and that all communications have been put in the CRM system. With that shared access to donor information and communication history, everyone on your team can stay informed and aligned, ensuring a consistent and cohesive approach to stewardship. Mighty Cause also offers all of the robust reporting and analytics capabilities that will provide insights into your donor base and fundraising performances overall that everyone on your team will have access to as well. And then just an overall better donor experience. So there are some automations as well as far as thank yous, as well as your automatic donation receipt. You can also put notes to follow up with donors. Just this streamline this can really streamline your overall donor experience, saving you time, ensuring that the donor never really falls through the cracks, because you'll be able to see each reach out each time someone has reached out to that donor, and just also making sure that if someone reached out to them last week, you will be able to see that in notes and everywhere else. But so overall, a donor CRM is a very powerful tool for stewardship. It enables you to manage your donor relationships more effectively, personalize your interactions, add some automation, target your efforts strategically, gain insights, and also just foster that collaboration within your team. Segmenting your donors. So segmenting your donor base really allows you to tailor your communication and stewardship efforts to better meet the needs and preferences of these different donor groups. So here are some great examples of segmentations. You may have your own, but these are just some good overall examples. So giving level. So segment your donor based on the amount they contribute. This could include major donor, mid-level donor, small donor. Each group may have different communication preferences and stewardship needs. So you'll want to note, you really wouldn't want to send an email saying, hey, we're just asking for $5 for this to one of your major donors. You don't want to overdo their inbox. You really want to make sure everything is tailored a little bit differently to them. Frequency of giving, so you can segment your donors about how often they contribute. This could include one-time donor, monthly donor, annual donor, sporadic donor. Just different strategies may be employed to engage these groups as well. Donor life cycle, so just where they are in your relationship with your donor. So this could be new donor, loyal donor, lapsed donor, re-engaged donor. So just making sure that everything, it's, you know, where that donor is in your life cycle, and with those emails that you're sending, if you kind of have a new donor email track or things that you do for those new donors, you'll want to make sure that you note that those are your new donors. Interests and preferences. So this could just be based on their preferences of what they participate in, what fundraisers they've given to in the past, if they are only interested in a specific geographic location of your organization, just different ways that, or the type of impact that they make. Maybe they're only interested in a specific program that you all put on. Just making note of that so you know when to reach out to them. If that specific program is fundraising for something, that person is more likely to give to that program. Communication preferences, pretty much no-brainer. There are people who don't want emails, don't answer their phone, only love snail mail. So writing those in just will save you some time, save you some of those, not necessarily angry emails, but maybe just some frustrations there as well. And then, of course, volunteer engagement. You obviously want to acknowledge your volunteers, especially when you have upcoming volunteer opportunities. You'll want that list of volunteers to reach out to, as well as engaging them after the fact of their volunteer engagement and acknowledging everything that they have done for your organization.
And while we're talking about this, obviously we're talking about this in the context of how you're using your data from the ColoradoGives CRM in the advanced features. But I also look at all of these segments as different activations for digital fundraising campaigns. So by giving level, you know, how are you activating all those giving levels for ColoradoGives? For frequency, how are you getting folks that are sporadically donating to set up a monthly gift? And so it becomes almost a fun discovery of, you know, how can you activate and what are these different segments responding to for your different digital fundraising campaigns throughout the year. So thanks for highlighting this, Ellen.
So yeah, so all of this can be done in Mighty Cause and tagging. Segmenting your donors, you can create more targeted and personalized communications overall, and just really strengthen your connection with those donors. So I'm going to go and show you all our supporters tool in Mighty Cause. So you can see overall in our supporters tool, you can have as many custom tags as you would like. So however you are already customizing, segmenting your donors, you can create as many as you would like. They're super easy to edit as well. So when somebody makes a donation on Mighty Cause, they're automatically added as a supporter. So since many of you obviously are already fundraising through ColoradoGives, they already exist in your CRM and are a part of your supporters. But you can also import your supporters list from other places. There are two ways to do this, where you can just simply add them as a one-off with just first, last name, supporter role, as well as their email, and then you can tag them after the fact. But you can also do a bulk import of all of your supporters. So there's a very easy article that shows you all of the fields that are required or not required. This is also a great opportunity. So when you sign up for advanced, you do have an onboarding call with our onboarding specialist. This is a great thing to bring to them, to have them make sure all your supporters are in your CRM, to start reaching out to them, start tagging them, start utilizing all of these tools for fundraising. So in order for that bulk import, you will download this Excel doc, put in your supporters. Minimally, you just need first, last name, email, and role, and then you can import them all, but you can add to with any other additional information you may want. So then when you go to your supporters, you will hit import supporters, select that file, and you will be able to import that donor information. So that is in progress. So within our supporters, you can pull this tag. Let's do monthly donors. I accidentally, you could pull your monthly donor tag, your volunteer tag, and message those people directly from Mighty Cause. So another great, easy way to reach out to each of those supporters. You can also, each of them has their own little profile. So when you pop in and let's see who has some information here. So we have Aaron here. He has, you can see all of his custom tags, everything he's done for your organization, how much he's raised, any additional details you would like to add about that donor or volunteer. Activity log. If multiple people are reaching out to donors, this is a great way to say, hey, I called him last month. He said he's going to donate this amount. And then when you go in and check and say, oh, that donation has not come in, I better reach out to him again. Or just knowing that those donors have been contacted and are in the works. You can also see all of their donations in Mighty Cause right on their profile. Organized efforts is if they've created any fundraisers. So if they've created a fundraiser for you, you'll be able to see all of those in their profile, as well as any email messages sent from Mighty Cause are also in their profile. And obviously you can message them directly from there. But yeah, just a great way for you to have all of your supporters in one place. Also, the more they interact with Mighty Cause, if they sign up for a volunteer opportunity, they'll be tagged as a volunteer and their volunteer information will be on their profile. And so just the more they interact, the more they will be tagged. You can easily tag them by clicking on them, adding tags, and just lots of simple ways to add more tags and just keep it as simple as possible for you all.
Nice. Hey, I have a quick question that comes up a lot in my chats with nonprofits. So I love that you can directly message any of your donors. So as they come in real time, you can see them and say, you know, an additional thank you or next steps or share this link. I just wanted to clarify that's a one-to-one. So you're sending an email directly to the donor. It's not a bulk email system, but the advanced features allow you to connect to your own marketing system if you want to bulk email everybody.
Yes.
Would you mind just talking a little bit about that?
Yeah, so if you would rather, yeah, so with our integrations, you do have
Yeah.
the ability with MailChimp, which we will go, or any of the Zapier emails there as well. So the way MailChimp, which we have down the line, we have a great graphic for MailChimp. But yeah, so those custom tags that you have in MailChimp will also sync to your Mighty Cause as well. So those campaigns you've already created, you'll be able to kind of select them for both. So this has a good example here too of just, you can see your audience and those tags that you've maybe already created in MailChimp to send those mass emails that you have been creating in the past. So those tags do
Nice.
already
So it
exist.
all plays together and works together nicely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Any questions that came through chat? But okay,
I think we're
so
good to keep going. Thank you.
great. So did want to kind of go back in. So also with your advanced features and everything there, we have our embeddable donation form. Get back in my slideshow. So the embeddable donation form. So what this really does is avoid that offsite disruption with your website. So the embeddable donation form will be your organization's URL will be right on your website. So it should be no surprise that redirecting visitors away from your website to an offsite donation page or form really does cause an interruption in that donor experience. So your donors are looking for that instant gratification that really comes from that online experience. If you are doing a compelling job telling your story, then they will really be moved to take direct action. So all of that information on your website will make it a lot easier for them. So offsite redirects interrupts that donor experience. Once again, donors are looking for that instant gratification, and multiple clicks can disrupt that. They are more likely to abandon their donation with those multiple clicks as well. It also lowers your conversion rate. So the donor conversion rate drops actually by 8% with offsite redirect donation forms. Intrusive donation form redirects and other factors like limited payment methods and slow page load times, too many fields, any language barriers really do contribute to those lower donor conversion rates as well. So that offsite also creates inconsistent branding, which I'll go in a little bit more detail about as well. And it also disrupts your donor tracking and analytics from your website. So redirecting to another site can disrupt the accuracy of that, the entirety of your donor lifecycle from your website. So branding, embedded donation forms use your organization branding automatically. So what you've created on your organization page, the colors you've created from your website will automatically be pulled to your embed form from Mighty Cause. According to Lucid Press, brand consistency increases revenue by 10 to 20%. So having that brand consistency really increases that donor trust. Lapse in branding can make those donors kind of question the legitimacy of this donation. So having it with your URL, with your branding really puts them at ease. And simply, so doing the embed is very simple on your website. It really is just copying and pasting a easy embed code. And I'll do a little bit of a example of that as well here in a moment. But it lessens the bounce and or incomplete donations and removes that friction when it is directly on your website, embedded, and those minimal clicks as well. So just the embeddable donation form on Mighty Cause is just $19 a month. The average monthly donation on ColoradoGives is $2,279, which is incredible with just that embed form. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to clarify, that is the average across all nonprofits that are leveraging the form. So they are seeing on average almost $3,000 come through the embeddable donations forms, which is exciting because we know they're working and we know that donors like to stay on a website, feel secure and not be directed away. And that they enjoy a form that's not flipping around or giving them seasickness, that they can fill out very quickly. So if you're interested in that, we did provide an example, WeCycle, and one or two others we'd be happy to share.
I'm adding that seasickness, Jordan, to all my talks now. But yeah, so also where to find to add the embeddable donation form subscription. So it's under settings and plan management as well. So I'm going to show you once again the embeddable donation form. So on Mighty Cause, to find that embeddable donation form, you will go to your fundraising tools and then embeddable donation form. See, it already pulled the brand colors from this organization's brand. You can update the dollar amounts, the descriptions. These will automatically update on your website when you update them on Mighty Cause. You can add dedications, designations. Any of your custom questions can be added and edited. It looks exactly like it does on your website. So when you're editing, you really have a good idea of what it will look like on your website. So less back and forth as well. But your entire donation form. But to get it embedded on to your website, you simply just click this Get Embed Code. It automatically copies to your board. You will go to your website and whatever website builder you have, embed code, paste. I do not know any coding, but yet I feel like I can be a coder when I do this. It really is just copy and paste, simple as possible. You hit next.
We can achieve that, copy, paste. I can do that.
I think that's the first thing I learned with computers, and it has been probably my most used skill. And then however you design your website, edit it, pull it all the way down. If you want to add different information, it's just like any other little box in your website. Whoever builds your website will also be able to do this for you, but it's definitely something you can do yourself. And also wanted to mention with any of those smaller donation widgets, it's the exact same process of just copying and pasting that embed code to put on any of your sub pages as well.
Yep. So if you're not quite ready to subscribe for 19 bucks a month, although that's like 2 Starbucks coffees, so I don't know. But we have the free widget. So that's accessible under the fundraising tools. And so you can embed that anywhere on your website, just like we showed you for the embeddable form. It's a copy paste of the code, and it's accepting the donations through the ColoradoGives platform. The difference is a little less customization, and it does accept credit cards only, whereas the embeddable form has Google Pay, Apple Pay, PayPal, credit card. So it has all of that built in. So just wanted to clarify some of the differences there. Both are great options, and we have thousands of nonprofits using both.
All right, back to the slides. So did want to talk through all of the integrations you also are offered. So if you already have a CRM system or a mail service that you like to use, but you obviously love processing through ColoradoGives, we have lots of integrations as well as Zapier, which opens up about 6,000 integrations. So we'll go through all of those. So these are our direct integrations. We have Salesforce, MailChimp, Slack, but yes, Zapier opens up 6,000, and I'll show you kind of exactly how that works. So if you're using QuickBooks or anything else, these are great options for you. So the first is Salesforce. So all of the integrations are kind of a one-way integration. So when somebody makes a donation, then it sends that information to whatever service you are using. So in the case of Salesforce, Mighty Cause user will have donated to your cause. This will then be synced to your Salesforce as a contact. So first, Salesforce will be queued for an existing contact. So if somebody has already given a donation, then and that will be based on their email. So if they've already given a donation, they exist, that contact will not be updated. It will just be all the new information, donation information will be added to that contact. So avoiding the multiple contacts for you all, that is kind of how that works. But if no contact is currently existing with that email address, a new contact will be created and associated with all of the donation objects that you have put in. There's a great support article that has all of the objects and everything that you would need to create your Salesforce, but it really is kind of just clicking a button on the integration to get that all connected. But if you have any specific things, another great thing to bring to your onboarding call, as well as asking support, because you will have priority support. So any questions you have with Salesforce, we are happy to answer those as well. The next primary one is MailChimp, which we went into a little bit of detail, but this shows kind of where those tags exist as well. So Mighty Cause allows you to select a specific audience from MailChimp to sync your contacts to. You can select a different audience for donors and campaign creators, respectively, or you can select the same for both. You can also select which tags your contacts will be labeled within MailChimp with differing tags selected for each of those audiences. So however you kind of have MailChimp set up, it will be very similar in Mighty Cause pulling that information to your MailChimp. And lastly, Zapier. So Jordan and I were chit-chatting about Zapier and how we're very happy to have these graphics to explain how simple it really is. Because when you're using words like zaps and triggers and actions, it sounds a little bit silly, but I think this is a great way of demonstrating exactly what it does. So it is an automation tool that allows users to set up workflows connecting about 6,000 different web apps. You really can just search in Zapier if you have a different CRM, see if it is connected. I'll share the link of exactly which ones are within there as well. But so first, a zap is an automation workflow you create to accomplish a task. Zaps are made of triggers and actions. So a trigger is an event that starts the zap workflow. The action is the task to be completed by that zap workflow. So when you turn your zaps on, it will run the action steps every time the trigger event occurs. So for example, on Mighty Cause, this is an example with Google Sheets. The trigger is when a donation is made to your fundraiser organization. So then that creates a new row in the specific spreadsheet. For Constant Contact, the trigger is when someone creates a charitable fundraiser or a team for your organization, and then that can be added to Constant Contact. QuickBooks, once again, a new donation for your fundraiser organization, and then that can add that new customer for you. So those are the zaps and triggers and everything there. And then also we have, these are great examples for Bloomerang with a new donation, creates that constituent, little green light when a new donation is made, imports that constituent or gift data as well. And then Outlook, new fundraiser or team can send an email thanking that donor, thanking that person automatically as well. So you can search all of the Zapier integrations with zapier.com/app/mightycause/integrations and see which one of your current services is connected there. So here's a great example of a Zap in action with Google Sheets. So you can see this new donation was made in Mighty Cause. It created a specific spreadsheet row in Google Sheets with any of that information that you are pulling from Mighty Cause. So you can see it's triggered when the donation was made in Mighty Cause, and then it creates that row for your Google Sheet where you've been tracking your donors before. So super simple one. And just if you're already using Sheets, just keep that donor information in one place. Here's one with multiple Zaps. So once again, it's triggered by the new donation. This one has a stipulation that the email will only be sent if that donation is over $500. So this goes along with that segmenting. So if you have this trigger where you have a specific email tailored to major donors or specific emails triggered to kind of those one-off smaller donations, then this could really help you in those efforts and make it as easy as possible and automatic. So this one is if they donated over $500, then there's a specific email that is sent for that donation. So just great tools to kind of put in your back pocket as well. Zapier is free over 100 tasks. So all of these were just done by donations. So that would be 100 donations for your month. We don't know many people who go over that. So is free, super easy to set up. And once again, something to bring to that onboarding call if or when you upgrade with Mighty Cause and talk through your processes that you currently have and how to make them as easy as possible for you to connect everything with Mighty Cause. Once again, drop your email in the chat if you want to talk more about any of this, have a conversation with anyone at Mighty Cause to kind of learn more about the advanced features and do a full product demo, pertain it more to your organization too, so you can make sure that it's a good fit, but we're happy to talk to anyone. And any questions that came in during this, or you can start putting them in the chat.
Yeah, please enter your questions. There's a couple great ones I've been answering as we go. A lot of questions about, does my system integrate, through Zapier? I did drop the link in there a couple times, so all you have to do is search and check it out. It looks like for a lot of folks that I answered, your CRMs do integrate with ColoradoGives, so that's fantastic.
Great.
Ernest had a question. He said, is there a user forum where I can go to review videos on setting up and customizing the ColoradoGives or Mighty Cause website? So Ernest, there we have a ton of resources. So between Mighty Cause and ColoradoGives, you are well supported. I would say your first step is to have a one-on-one demo with a Mighty Cause representative. So we talked about how that's accessible to schedule in your settings plan management area. That said, we have video recordings, we have FAQs, and Ellen, I'd love if there's anything additional from the Mighty Cause side of things, support materials wise, if you could go over that as well.
Yeah, we have, if you go to support at support.mightycause.com, we have hundreds of articles. You can simply search. If you're just wondering how to put an image in your organization page, that can be there. Just anything you're trying to do in the moment, you can search there. You can also reach out to support@mightycause.com if you're setting something up and having questions about how to set it up. Those are two great resources for when you're in Mighty Cause looking, just wanting to get a quick answer there as well.
Awesome. Let's see, any other questions here? Well, let's answer this one for everybody, just because I thought it was such a great one. Kristen said, can I import all my donation history into this CRM for my current platform? And then she mentions that her platform is a little less well-known, but it looks like it does integrate. So could you maybe just go over again what someone's process would be if they wanted to import their donor data?
Yeah, so donor data specifically, so donation history would have to be an offline import for those specific donation history there. Donor data, though, are just supporters in general, is super simple of just first name, last name, email. But yeah, you could import all of your, I can actually where that would be in your, so in your donation reports, you can import everything as an offline donation and have all of that information in there if you would
Oh,
like to do
gotcha.
that. That also has Mighty Cause template and guide to import as well.
Okay, so that's good to know. So there's importing of offline donations, and then there's importing relating to contacts within your CRM. So two different imports, both with templates for you to follow to make it really easy. Okay, that's great. Justin says, we currently use Network for Good. What is the difference between Network for Good and ColoradoGives? Ellen, I don't know if this has come up for you. I know I've talked to a number of nonprofits who just for whatever reason historically have Network for Good. I know that it can be customized or it can be a basic system that's available, but I know that it can be pricey, typically not in the first year or two, but by year 5 and 6, as your nonprofit expands, I believe Network for Good is a pretty pricey option available to nonprofits. So that to me is a huge flag as far as a differentiator. Was there anything else that's come up in conversations for you, Ellen, as far as differences between these options?
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well. I think also just support. I think you guys are in such a great circumstance as well that you're getting support both from Colorado and Mighty Cause. Overall, I will say our support team is incredible. They're all in-house and just, I think the best in the biz. But I think just with resources and the opportunities, yeah, you have with ColoradoGives and how cost effective it is definitely quite a difference from Network for Good in that sense.
Yeah, and I think it's just a different approach, right? Network for Good, you have the base offering, the CRM or the donor management system, and then you can add on for additional prices, customization or other modules. So if that's the way you're going and you're an organization that needs something highly customizable, maybe that is somewhere to continue. But if that's not something you need and that's not a price that you need to pay, the great thing about ColoradoGives is that through these integrations, you can have your main fundraising hub be ColoradoGives and still have all the data flow seamlessly to your other systems. So you don't need to pay for the complex additional options with Network for Good. So that's how I would think about it, maybe if you're assessing your technology. All right, let's see if there's any other questions. This has been so great, guys. Did I miss your costs? Yes, we covered costs in the beginning, but I'm happy to just chat through them again for you, Wendy. Could we hop to slide 4? Okay, so Wendy, just wanted to mention here that we have an industry low fee model. So we talked a little bit about that up front in the beginning. And essentially, your nonprofit, about 82% of the time, donors are covering fees through ColoradoGives, meaning you're getting 100% of the intended donation. For the times where donors aren't covering the fees, it's a 2.05% transaction fee for a donation. So that makes your effective fee rate incredibly low. So that's one pricing topic that we talked about. And the other was the pricing for the different subscription models. Would you mind hopping to that slide? Okay, awesome. And then if you're considering the advanced features, there's 2 different subscription models, both of which you can access by going to Settings, Plan Management when you log in as an admin. So you have the option to a la carte subscribe to the embeddable donation form, which we discussed is bringing in a lot of revenue for nonprofits using it. That's $19 a month. And it's a subscription model, so no contracts. You're not forced to use it for a year. You can hop in and out of it. You can test it and try it. It's really easy to use. The second, which is what we primarily talked about today, was the advanced features plan. That's $69 a month, same subscription model, and it gives you the embeddable donation form as well as CRM, integration, volunteer management tools. So a lot of what we discussed today. Both of those prices I'll just mention were something we negotiated with our partners at Mighty Cause, because we're always trying to make sure to present the lowest, most cost-effective options to our nonprofits, so that you're able to explore and use new fundraising tools without breaking the bank. Good question, Wendy. Allison says, what if our CRM doesn't integrate with Mighty Cause? Yeah, so if your CRM doesn't integrate with Mighty Cause, which, you know, like, unfortunately, a lot of the old school Blackbaud stuff doesn't integrate. It's just, you know, not something that most nonprofits are using as we move forward with donor management technology. In those instances, you can still access all your donor data in real time. And so you can go to your reports section, you can download reports, you can filter reports. And so it would be a download upload process if you found that your your external donor management system did not integrate. I guess the other option is you could switch to one that does integrate, or use our CRM as well. So there's definitely some options there, and it's not like you don't have access to your data if you're not using these advanced features. You on the free platform always have access to your donor data in real time. Good question, thank you. Let's see, we have one more question. So Brenna asks, does Donor Perfect integrate? Let's see. So we have DonorBox and DonorDoc. It looks like Donor Perfect is not one of the integrations through Zapier. Ellen, could you just confirm that for me? I'm typing it in, but I think that's I think that's accurate. So that might be one that if you're using that, it's not an integration option. But again, that doesn't mean that you still can't run donations through ColoradoGives, access that data, and import it into your external systems. If you are curious about your Zapier integration options, I'm dropping the link in here again. Go ahead and click on that and you can search and see if any of your current systems do integrate. Of course, these integrations are including MailChimp and Salesforce, Google Analytics, you know, so some of these are built in and everything else we use Zapier for. All right, let's see. Okay, last question here. Thank you, Cheryl. This is great. So Cheryl is asking just generally about the ColoradoGives platform and fundraising capabilities. Is there event ticketing? So we are a platform that needs to accept 100% tax deductible donations. And so there's no goods or services that can be provided in exchange for a donation through ColoradoGives, like a ticket. What we have done is we've integrated with Eventbrite. So when you're setting up an event page, you have the opportunity to have your Eventbrite integrated into your event page. So people can go all to one place to give, to participate, to register. But we, through the ColoradoGives platforms, cannot accept donations on behalf of tickets purchased. That's a great question.
Laurel asked if the embeddable donation forms are available without upgrade. The embeddable donation form, yes, you do need to upgrade to at least the $19 a month for the embeddable donation form.
Yes, I will say, Laurel, hi, nice to see you. The embeddable donation form as part of the Level Up program, if you are one of the 100 nonprofits participating in the Level Up program, which is a grant program we're running this year, in that scenario, we are providing as one of the grant program offerings, the embeddable donation form for free. But for everybody that's generally using the ColoradoGives platform, so for all nonprofits, all 4,000 of you guys, can you believe it? generally speaking, you do have to subscribe to the embeddable donation form in order to access it and use it on your external website. Awesome. Thanks, Ernest. Oh my gosh, this has been so great. Is there any other questions that we can cover? I know we chatted about a lot of different things for you to consider today, but I think the main thing we want to get across to you is this is a great time. We're exiting COVID when we adopted insane amounts of technology just to try to communicate with each other. So this is a great time to assess your tech stack, what tools you're using, how much money you're paying for them, and what the donor experience is. Because ColoradoGives can be a great piece of the pie to help you grow your digital fundraising. Have a great day. Ernest says, have a great day. I guess we'll all say have a great day if there's no other questions. Thank you all. And we'll see you next month. Thank you, Ellen.